Hello everyone, this is Explorer. Let's explore Switzerland together. Which is located at the foot of the Alps, is peaceful with its nature, has one of the highest salaries in the world and the countries with the highest welfare. Don't forget to subscribe to support us before continue. Switzerland, officially the Swiss Confederation, is located in the central part of Europe. While there is Germany in the north, France in the west, Italy in the south, Austria and Liechtenstein in the east. The country, which does not have a border with the sea, is an important crossroads between Central European countries. Switzerland, one of the smallest countries in Europe, has a surface area of 41,285 square kilometers, and a large part of it is covered with mountains and lakes, 60% of which is surrounded by alpine mountains. The foundation of the Swiss Confederation was laid in 1291 by the union of the cantons of Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden in Switzerland. The three cantons, which gained autonomy against the Holy Roman Empire, later formed the Swiss Confederation and gained representation in the empire. The Swiss Federation, which grew with the participation of many city-states, gained its independence with the 1648 Treaty of Westphalia, and with the Congress of Vienna in 1815, the independence and neutrality of Switzerland was recognized by all European powers. Switzerland continues to exist as a federal state with the adoption of the Swiss Federal Constitution in 1848. Although Switzerland is located in the middle of Europe, it is not a member of the EU because the people voted against it in 1992, in the vote to enter the EU. Switzerland consists of 26 cantons. The cantons are independent in many respects. For example, they have their own constitutions and laws, provided they do not violate federal law. It also has its own assemblies, governments, and courts. If you move from one canton to another, your salary may change or you may pay less tax. The form of government of the country is direct democracy. With direct democracy, most decisions are made directly by the votes of the citizens, and decisions are taken by majority vote. People can vote on the issues they want by collecting signatures. When a law is passed, if 50,000 signatures are collected within 100 days, the law can be annulled. In a country where 100,000 signatures are enough to go to the referendum, sometimes very interesting issues can be voted on. For example, a referendum was held in 2018 for the natural growth of horns of cows and goats without cutting them. Voting was rejected with a 56% no vote. Animal rights also have an important place in the country, which is very advanced in democracy. Those who mistreat or harm animals are subject to fines and imprisonment of up to 3 years, depending on the severity of the crime. There are training and conditions for adopting animals, and animals that are controlled after adoption cannot be left on the street thanks to these controls. In addition, it is forbidden to look at animals such as birds and fish alone. It is mandatory to take a spouse with them. Although Switzerland does not have a legal capital, its de facto capital is Bern, the country's 5th largest city. The most populous city of the country is Zurich. Zurich is also the city with the highest foreign population in the country. The population of Switzerland is 8,703,000 people. People from 140 different nationalities live in Switzerland, which is one of the countries with the highest number of immigrants in the world, and 1 out of every 5 people does not have a Swiss passport. Foreign nationals make up 2.1 million, or 25%, of the country. 65% of these immigrants come from EU countries. The largest immigrant group is Italians and Germans. Also, 1 out of every 3 marriages in the country today is binational according to a study conducted at a university. 36% of those who come to the country settle in Switzerland for work or education. 60% of the immigrants work in physical and basic occupations that do not require a higher education level. Switzerland has 4 official languages: German, French, Italian, and Romansh. While 17 of the 26 cantons in the country are German, 4 are French and 1 are Italian, 2 languages are spoken in 2 cantons and 3 languages are spoken in 1 canton. German is the mother tongue of 63% of the Swiss population. The German spoken in the country, on the other hand, is Swiss German. Unlike normal, even its accent and words can differ. This German can even show dialect changes from canton to canton. Multilingualism can also cause some borders in the country. According to one study, half of German-speaking Swiss move to the French-speaking region only once a year. 15% have never passed. But since the cantons are autonomous, multilingualism is not a problem in the country. The Swiss are proud to be multilingual, with the idea of to be a nation born with the desire to live together. Although these regional differences are reflected in the culture of the Swiss, they have created a unique common culture. It is a society with high national values. They take care to use their own products. Swiss people are very calm, kind and humble people. They always greet everyone they see on the way. They still have a distant structure. This distant structure is also valid in neighborly relations and even in family relations. No uninvited visits are allowed, meetings are determined in advance. Swiss people are very neat and clean. You might be surprised at the cleanliness of public restrooms. They have a great fondness for flowers. The Swiss, who do not have a wide culinary culture of their own, love to eat out. In the country, which has a magnificent nature and clean air, people are very fond of nature walks and sports. Most people do sports regularly, regardless of summer or winter. As a reflection of these, Switzerland is the 4th country with the highest life expectancy, with an average age of 85.3 years. According to the UN World Happiness Rating for 2021, it is the 4rd happiest country in the world. According to another study, Switzerland is the 5th country with the highest quality of life in the world. If we look at the general life of Switzerland, while most places are closed after 8 on weekdays, almost the whole country is closed on Sundays. Life is generally quiet in the country, with 1 in 6 people over the age of 65. Making noise on Sundays and in the evening may not be welcome. Houses in Switzerland are usually specified as 2.5, 3.5 rooms. While half of it represents a small cellar-style place, 2 plus 1 room of a house, living room 1 room is in the form of a bedroom. Generally, houses are rented with white goods inside. Most buildings also have a communal laundry area. In Switzerland, apart from the employer, everyone has to take out their own health insurance. If the hospital expenses exceed the amount of the insurance, an additional fee is paid. The price of these health insurances varies according to the cantons, but is around 250 francs per month. The speed limit for cars on the streets is around 30 or 50 kilometers. Even on most highways, there is no speed of more than 100 kilometers. The speeding fines, given even in seconds, are determined according to the model of the vehicles. There is no need to print or show a card on Swiss public transport. Those who do not have a card during the intermittent checks will be fined 100 francs. Electronic cigarette use is very common in the country. The age limit for drinking beer and wine is 16. In Switzerland, the value given to people is high. You feel this in most areas of daily life. Even with the smallest problem, it will be easy to find a relevant interlocutor, and everyone is very respectful to each other. Switzerland, which has a rich and developed economy, ranks 6th in the world with a gross national product per capita of $91,991. Switzerland is also the country with the highest minimum wage in the world. Although there is no minimum wage applicable throughout Switzerland, the hourly wage in the canton of Geneva is 23 Swiss francs. If we take into account that 1 Swiss franc is $1.07, the amount corresponds to $24.5. Based on 40 hours of work per week, the monthly minimum wage is 4,100 Swiss francs. The average salary in the country is 6,500 francs. This amount is equivalent to 78,000 francs per year. Despite the lack of a Swiss colony, natural wealth, and sea, it still has a very strong economy. 3/4 of the country's economy, most of which is based on the service sector, is based on the finance, banking, insurance, and tourism sectors. Switzerland owes its wealth to investments, production, and banking. The banking system in Switzerland is very developed. The ongoing impartial political understanding and privacy policy of the country, which did not participate in either World War, has enabled large companies and countries to invest their money in Swiss banks, which they see as a safe haven. The ability of large companies to evade taxes, launder money, or open accounts independently of real identities has made Swiss banks popular. However, after the World War II, after the Nazis looted the goods of the Jews and deposited them in Swiss banks, Jewish associations filed a lawsuit against Swiss banks and demanded compensation for the assets belonging to the Jews. Losing the long litigation process, Swiss banks paid nearly $500 million in compensation. Despite this, Swiss banks still exist as the most preferred banks around the world. Switzerland encourages companies and entrepreneurs to invest in the country with low tax rates and incentives. The tax rates, which are very low compared to other European countries, vary between 11% and 23%. Tax rates are falling even more on exports. In addition, Switzerland is one of the largest chocolate producers in the world. Nestled, Milka, Toblerone are the biggest brands. Other known brands are Swatch, Rolex, Novartis, Pantene, and Migros. Switzerland's Victorinox branded Swiss Army knife, whose blades are very strong, is also very famous. Although Switzerland's average salary is much higher than other European countries, on the contrary, it is more expensive than other European countries in terms of cost of living. If we give an example of general living expenses in the country, house rents are high in Switzerland. Depending on the city and the size of the house, you can pay a rental fee of 1,300 to 3,000 francs. If we look at the market prices, 1 liter of milk is 1 franc, 630 grams of Nutella is 4.30, 1 liter of olive oil is 12 francs, 1 kilogram of ground beef is 16 francs, 1 kilogram of chicken is 15 francs, and 1 kilogram of cubed meat is 23 francs. However, if we take into account that the average salary is 6,500 francs, most people lead a comfortable and quality life in Switzerland. Switzerland is one of the world's leading countries in education. The Federal Institute of Technology Zurich is ranked 11th in the world's top 500 universities. In Switzerland, where compulsory military service is available, women can also do their military service voluntarily. The number of female soldiers makes up 1% of the army. Switzerland is one of the countries with the highest armament rate in the world, with an armed population of 3 million, despite a population of approximately 8 million. Despite this armament rate, Switzerland has a low crime rate and is the 10th safest country in the world. Although Switzerland has a peaceful policy, it has enough shelter for the whole country and a strong army against a possible nuclear attack. Swiss soldiers also made a great impression in history. In fact, the spiritual leader of the Catholic world, the Pope, who is in the Vatican, has been protected by the Swiss Guards for 500 years. In the referendum held in 2017 in Switzerland, where environmental awareness is high, 58.2% of the people said yes to the exit from nuclear energy and the support of renewable energies. Currently, 75% of the energy consumed in Switzerland comes from renewable sources. Of the renewable energy consumed, 66% comes from hydroelectric energy, 19% from nuclear energy, and 8.4% from solar energy. While there were 5 active nuclear power plants when the law was passed, the first power plant was closed in 2019. It is thought that it may take 15 years for all nuclear power plants to be shut down. Euthanasia has been legally practiced in Switzerland since 1942. Euthanasia is defined as the death that occurs when a patient with unbearable pain ends his/her life with the help of a doctor, at his/her own request. In the euthanasia procedure, also called assisted suicide, patients take the deadly drug given by the doctor directly under medical supervision. One of the world's most famous books that we all read and watch fondly, Heidi, was written by the Swiss writer Johanna Spyri, who spent her childhood in the foothills of the Alps. Switzerland does not have a very large culinary culture of its own. The iconic and most famous dish of the country, where there are 450 types of cheese, is fondue, which consists of bread or potatoes dipped in melted cheese. Another dish is rosti, which is made from grated potatoes and fried. Of course, the most famous dessert is chocolate. Switzerland is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, which offers extraordinary views at the foot of the Alps and has a magnificent nature. We have come to the end of our video. You can share what you know about Switzerland with us in the comments. To support our channel, don't forget to like our video, subscribe and turn on the notification bell.